Welcome back for round 2 of today's extra special Unhinged draft. We're here with Chris and Lloyd and we're going live to the feature match area. These are our two 1-0 players. Everybody else either drew or lost. I'm not sure who won the dice roll. Who won the dice roll, gentlemen?
I won the dice roll.
Lloyd won the roll and he's opting to play first. Is this going to be an aggressive start? We'll find out.
I'm going to go to 6.
Both players opting to mulligan. In this format, God knows if that's a bad thing or not.
Oh, we know there's no counter spells. Well, until you get out.
Chris seems to think there's no counter spells, but there is a spell called counter spell in the format. It's a gotcha card that may be a worry. Both players are at 6 cards. Chris is looking at a hand that looks like it might work. Lloyd's hand, I'm not so sure about.
Yeah, never mind. Go to 5.
Lloyd's going down again. It looks like we may get a quick game 1.
Based on the last round, a quick game 1's half an hour. What's it for me? Definitely not another control matchup.
In a format that contains 1 counterspell, both players are worried about the control mirror. That's a little bit worrying.
I'm not. No, it's the gotcha of number crunch. That's the control.
Number crunching gotcha sounds like it could be a problem.
Sure, I'm happy. Okay.
It's a mountain to start, but no turn 1 play for Lloyd. Oh, and he's brought out the posh islands. You can tell this gentleman's just opened a box.
Face to face. Best of 2 games. Best of 2 rock, paper, scissors.
Face to face is the play. It looks like we're going to have a rock, paper, scissors off. Just to reiterate, the rules are going to be 1, 2, 3 show.
I won't do the drinking at the same time. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 3, go.
Okay, 1, 2, 3, go. Okay.
Chris is already getting a bit confused.
1, 2, 3, go. 1, 2.
That's a win to Chris.
There we go. 1, 2, 3, go. Yep.
Oh, that's 2 wins for Chris. Something went right there. He prevented himself from taking 5 points of damage.
Go. There's too much exercise for a magic game.
Chris just setting up his mana base and weren't moaning about the amount of exercise.
Laughing hyena?
We've seen this card before, Laughing Hyenas. There's a gotcha on this card. It's a 2-2 for 2.
So you got a recurring ass. Actually, it's a recurring hyena, isn't it? Okay.
Chris having some issues debating whether it's a hyena or an ass.
So every time I don't do it, when you don't do it for the first time. No. I mean, like, I go when I'm on my second day. Now we'll go back to combat again, then back to first step, and then draw.
Bursting keyboards.
Chris making his first real play of the game.
Go.
It's a blue card, not my personal favourite.
Stupid. I just like the flavour text.
Topsy-turvy. I play it second
It's
main.
so true.
Then I go back to combat, then back to first, and then draw another card.
Can't actually find which card it is that he's decided to play.
Choosing the word I.
Because now I'm going backwards instead of forward.
So that's a Bursting Beebles. Bursting Beebles is unblockable as long as defending player controls 2 or more non-land permanents that share an artist. And then Lloyd's just played our favourite card, stopping his opponent saying certain words. What was the word, Lloyd?
I.
I is the word. Chris can no longer say I without making that man monstrously big.
The actual word of the letter. The word. Okay. Swing for 2.
Chris debating whether it's the word or the letter, but no matter how he says aye, is going to count. I'm going to wind him up by saying aye, Captain. Chris opting to take the damage there, going down to 18, I believe.
Yes, 18, yeah.
So that means you do your combat resolve.
Swing 4-4.
Combat range means no one can ever attack you.
Means you're undecking.
On deck.
You're undecking. So you deck your opponent.
Sure.
Obviously, the action you get on first is just that you take it 10 steps first, then you post the
Constructed
then you
blind.
combat, which happens in your turn. Then pre-combat range, then
First 16.
yes.
Chris going down to 16. Not the strongest start we've seen him have.
Tactical change. Sure, I'll take it. Go to 18.
Chris coming back with a strong attack, putting Lloyd to 18.
Circle of protection. Art. Naming. Marked Pool. Sure.
Circle of Protection Art, naming Mark Paul. Circle of Protection Art basically says on it, for 1 and a white, the next time a source of your choice by the chosen artist will deal damage to you this turn, prevent that damage. And he can return it to its owner's hand to name a different artist should he need to. Lloyd's starting to fall behind here. Looks like Chris has got himself a card pecker in play as well. It's another one of those flying gotcha cards that deals 1.5 points of damage. And whenever his opponent touches the table with his or her hand, he can say gotcha and get it back from his graveyard to his hand.
So then, Goblin Swap. No. Tell the table.
The card pecker is down.
Gotcha.
Go on.
Never post as a word that's in the name of a card in my graveyard. 2. I turn it to my hand. Oh, say gotcha. Turn it to my hand.
So you can't. Yeah, that's
You
your
can't do that.
Yep.
It's going to be a very, very, very long game. Touching the table means I can't. I could touch cards there and say you don't stand. That's very nice. So I need to
Chris
find
is
a way
deep in the tank here.
borrow that green.
No, make
Of course, the goblin swat's always going to cause a bit of a problem.
no, say no.
Why?
Standing army.
Sure.
Standing army's the play.
Fascist art director.
Standing army says as long as your standing army has vigilance. We could be seeing Chris getting a bit more exercise than he's used to.
Swing with Goblin Swap Team and Loving Hand.
Okay, that's a little bit too much tapping there. Just the one is sufficient.
I thought you had to do it 5 times. Oh no, within 5 seconds.
Yep, Chris getting a little bit confusing about killing the commentators.
Yeah, you saw my board last game and I had an easy way to do it.
Yeah, well, that's sense.
Yeah.
So if I say that, you don't have.
No, if you say that, I don't.
Block the Goblin Swap Team.
Either way, that's
I will deal damage to that.
Yeah.
We've got a red card coming in here. We're not sure what it is, but we're going to try and find out.
Deal damage.
Okay, it's actually a card called Deal Damage. It's going to deal 4 damage to a target creature, and this is another gotcha card, so whenever now Chris says deal or damage, you can say gotcha and return it back to your hand.
It's ridiculous, isn't it?
MC.
Looks like Lloyd here has been drafting the solid deck. And just to confirm, the live totals currently stand at 14 plays 18.
Yes, yes.
Whenever another creature comes into play, I may stand up presenting and that creature's name. If I do, put one counter on that creature.
Okay, that's fine.
So for that, I will tap my lands.
Yeah. How you doing?
Go.
3.
It helps. I tended to make
Chris opting to be really conservative here.
piles of land.
Tom, can I have the pencil?
No, don't give him one. It's for a gotcha.
Swing.
You've not played it.
It's your turn anyway.
The circle protection out. Sure.
Okay, this is it now. Chris is going on the defence with his circle protection.
Go.
He's going to be stopping those hyenas from getting him.
Here comes the money.
How many times have we done that?
Yeah, that is a foil unhinged iron that we can't see due to glare. But if he tilts it up a little bit, we're going to catch a beautiful glimpse of that fine, fine foil card. It's ironic that the money in this set is all in the lands. And there's one in every single pack.
How tall are you? About 5'10".
Let me go backwards again.
They're discussing height. We may need to get a judge call as to who's the tallest and who's the shortest here.
That's fine. 5'9". Man of metal. Sure. So it's 2-3 first strike.
This becoming much more relevant once we see man and measure come into play. As Chris is shorter, he is going to make this a 2-3 first striker.
If I get in trouble, somebody at words tomorrow's going to say that something sounding the same. I'm going to smash the table. No, you cannot say that.
Step. I will.
You're the crunch.
You're.
No, the straight. And naturally down.
MC. Return target permanent at the same time.
Chris now trying to find the line that allows him to break through.
Yeah. Did him? Missed it out.
To be fair, they weren't originally getting married on that.
Said
They
it.
missed it.
Swing with Golden Swap Team and nothing behind it.
And that is going to be a Goblin SWAT team trigger. Lloyd.
Was that within or without play? I think I heard it from yourself.
Judge indicates that no word was said by the commentator till after the 5-second deadline had passed.
Yeah.
Very coyly played by Lloyd there.
Use the protection.
Standing on.
So he's going to be able to get protection from the asses, but how's he going to deal with this Goblin SWAT team?
Why do you think he's got me getting them?
Take 3, go to 11.
Okay, Chris is opting to take the damage.
Graphic violence. Targeting the Goblin Swap. Oh, naming erected chumps.
That is
So-
very true. Kick it over to you.
Sure, so okay, I go to.
But then you just nodded. Yeah, people have a lot. Yeah.
So that's graphic violence, making Chris actually go down to 9. 9 plays 18. This is looking a bit ropey for Chris at the minute.
Swing.
Sure.
Yep.
It's putting Lloyd down to 16. Chris is going to try and work his way back into this game.
Gotcha. Kill me.
Yours.
Oh, is it? Oh, I thought it was his word. Fine.
The others are words.
I don't think he's ever going to be as lucky as full of slide.
Swing with Lapahina and Goblin Swap.
He's not missed it this time. The same trick doesn't work twice in a row.
Four blocks. Activate circle protection for Mark Paul. Yep. Number crunch, the goblin swap.
Okay, number crunches play this another one of those gotcha cards.
Touch the card on the table. Yeah, you did touch the table. No. Yeah, I thought I touched the card. Did you read?
This is a tough call.
I'll let you have that one.
Chris is allowing the gotcha slide, but we will be paying a little more attention. He's going to be quite vigilant. Lloyd's got a lot of gotchas to worry about.
Table in response to the gotcha as well. Resummon Goblin SWAT team. Go.
Goblin SWAT team's coming back again.
So cards in hand. 2. Gotcha.
That's a number. Number crunches back. Using the good old fashioned cards in hand trick.
Attack 4.
Trigger.
Take 4.
Gotcha.
That's Lloyd going down to 12. Chris is regaining his grip on this game.
Yours.
Presenting standing at 2 power and 2 toughness, man of measure.
Sounds like MC's in the house.
Proud Cerberus guy. Attacking. Along with Goblin SWAT team on left lane.
Okay, we've got something coming into play here that I missed what it was, but it looks like that's a rocket-powered turbo slug. It has super haste. He's going to be playing it the turn before he casts it.
Number crunch.
Number crunching on the SWAT team puts it straight back to Lloyd's hand.
Take 3, go 6. Yep.
Chris going all the way down to 6 now.
Toy boat.
Lloyd's gone for a toy boat.
Go.
Toy boat is a cue up keep saying toy boat quickly. At the beginning of each result keeps he has to say it one more time.
What was the art?
So which artist do we have out? Frank. What's that one? Oh, Winkle, Ball, and... Oh, that's Frank. Okay. So it's not unblockable just yet.
Chris just sort of checking how many artists there are in play. Looks like there's not quite enough.
Play standing army. 12 over to you.
End of your turn, I will sort at you.
Looks like Lloyd's gone for the heavy red deck.
Okay, targeting.
Sauteing Chris in his end step. Saute deals 3.5 damage to target creature or player. This puts Chris on 2.5.
Toy boat. Pay the 4 for rocket power turbo slot.
I've not got any numbers in my grade. That was actually
Swing where it
yeah. That actually was.
So this is it. Lloyd's going in for the kill.
So I wasn't actually trying to trick. Can I have an hour per week?
I'll sign you down shite so. Yeah.
Chris successfully managing to block the attack.
Hassan?
It's important to note the toy boat doesn't actually have a 1/1 counter on it. This is just keeping track.
I don't want to say a number.
Number crunch standing army.
Mana open? Yeah,
Chris a little bit unsure. He knows he's going in for the attack.
2. I'll take 3.
This puts Lloyd down to 10.
Did you say yes to 10? So you're on 10, yeah.
Trigger number crunch. I genuinely didn't know what that was in fairness. It's like a really serious game.
Okay, Lloyd's trying to really keep this aggression going here.
It's so serious. It's unhinged.
The toy boat is only a 3/3.
I don't have any idea how many gotcha triggers we have.
Protection from Mark Paul.
Right, there's a high probability.
Oh, that's a removal spell for the toy boat. Let's see what it was. Looked like that was. Can't actually see what that was. Bear with me.
3, 4.
Oh, that was an AWOL, so he gets to remove it from the game. Then remove it from the remove from the game zone and put it into the absolute remove from the game freaking game wherever zone.
And 4 for goblins.
It is important to note out that the card that was removed with AWOL is permanently removed from the game, will not be shuffled back in at the end of the game.
So he doesn't get it back from the
It is removed from the game and then removed from the game zone. It is no longer existing within the game.
Does that mean I have to go get more cards? My deck's illegal.
No, it does not. You can play your deck as is. It does however go back in before the start of the next round. Oh, he's going for the enchantment. He's got word mail on there. He gets 1+1/+1 for each word in its name. So that's going to be a +3/+3.
Big goblins not in there. That table.
Right, this is actually relevant for the first time.
Can we just remove that from the game for the purposes of the discussion?
Remove what?
That card, whilst we actually have a rules discussion. What?
So,
1 minute, if you get to be pedantic about it, then I can be pedantic.
this is I'm actually checking the rule of something.
Yeah.
And that's all.
That's what I say. If it's a rules,
So the numbers are going through again. Chris just managing to hold off this assault from Lloyd quite happily here.
So no damage. No, it's 2 for it, isn't it? Oh no, sorry. Word mail makes him
Chris really missed an opportunity there.
Can I ask for an oracle text and he has to tell me?
Word for word, or can I just say read it? Because there's a word on there if I say it.
Okay.
Bring out goblin swap team again.
So yeah.
Chris trying to stop falling for these goblin swap tricks.
It's on Marino. The question is, when he does the trick, can I ask him like?
Cards in hand?
No. Can I ask him the question of how? What does he lose when he's resolving the card?
He could just say some life.
Yeah, exactly. That's fine.
That's the word
That's the word he can't say. That's brilliant. Thank you. Yeah.
Would Cermine be scouting at that?
You can point to it on the card and say this.
Okay.
You can actually indicate it on the card with your finger and expect you to be able to read
Every
it.
single way, I'm not saying these words.
Yeah, I know.
Gotta love the amount of rules questions get caught up when you're playing an unhinged draft.
That's why I'm trying to make sure you don't get it. It's quite weird. Twisting of it.
Chris has missed school opportunities to get that number cruncher back.
Too many.
It's on my turn.
Okay.
If it doesn't trouble would Sir take a
I'm happy with what I can say, so it's why I'm
Is it okay if I go to combat?
Yep.
So top 4 cards.
Sorry guys, what's changing life total?
5.
I have 2.5 plays 5, do you agree? Thank you. So Chris has brought himself right back into this game now. He's now leaving it up to Lloyd to find an answer.
I'll put 2 swamps into the graveyard.
Swing with goblins. So you're just swinging with the one creature. No others. Just well, how many creatures is there? On his own. By himself. A single number. What could that be?
Chris is really trying to push to get it
Very
here.
binary. It's almost like the opposite to a 0. I'll put you on this number for
Oh, he had the second copy all along. It's going to make it really even now because he managed to catch a trigger. He's going to be able to get them both back.
I'm currently on a 4 count at the moment.
Red Hooker.
This is a red card that looks a little bit golden as well. This is the red hot hottie. Whenever she deals damage to a creature, put a 3rd degree burn count on it.
1 toughness.
At the end of each turn, sacrifice this creature unless you scream "Ah!" at the top of your lungs.
Is that until the turn passes or until for the rest of the game?
Wait, did you mean relevant?
That will be as long as there is a 3rd degree burns counter on the creature.
Yeah, sacrifice the creature unless it's creature. Okay, so I just got to remember the trigger. I don't have to keep on screaming. No. And I'll return goblins. Go.
That's fine.
Good thing we don't have any counters with this. Be able to pull on that or. So, number of cards in hand? Nothing in hand.
He doesn't want to get me a 1.5.
Oh, he's wising up.
Just my creatures, magic party, my goblins, what team I take.
That's a miss trigger. He snuck that one by quite nicely.
Hit on the goblins, what team correct?
He missed the first one round, unfortunately, it's a little bit too late. Very sneaky play from Lloyd there.
Yeah, no, we said that, but then we'll start getting really messy. But if it's instant,
I can't lift my own little fucking
Fair one on the card.
Yeah,
They're all bad.
No, Viable, the last one, the guy was on half alive, and I was like this, I was like...
The thing about name dropping is that we all my cards. Every card in the graveyard has to change.
Chris deep in the tank here trying to look for an out.
Oh yeah, that card.
Oh, and that looks like a fantastic card.
losing life isn't damage.
Cards in hand. Lands on tap.
Bounce circle of
Doesn't look like a grand.
circle of protection.
Only the one.
Chris trying his hardest to catch him out here.
Naming Edward P.
So what?
That's not Tony Scully.
Tony Scully. So you also.
I still have Lars Grant. Are you okay if I just write Edward P. there?
Yeah. This game's been going a very long time anyway. So
Go to combat.
am I on?
11 and a half.
Oh, trigger. Gotcha.
Take it.
To retrieve my letterbox.
Down to
9.5.
Is he going to make the play?
Sure. Turn it off.
Double head is the line that he's gone for.
I'm just going to rewrite my life total.
So double head is flying. When it comes into play, he may return a permanent with a 2-word name to its owner's hand.
Over to you.
Face to face. So rock paper scissors again.
Looks like we're going to have another rock off. This is Chris's play for the Lloyd's play for the win. The pressure is really on.
And it's 1, 2, 3, go.
1, 2, 3, go.
1, 2, 3, go. 1, 2, 3, go. 1, 2, 3, go. 1 each.
This is the decider. It's all coming down to the wire. Can they take the pressure?
Who put me on the feature table? 1, 2, 3, go. Ah!
Oh, and that's done it. Lloyd takes down game 1. And with just 17 minutes and 50 seconds left on the clock, Chris is going to have it all taken out of him to try and win the second.
I've actually touched the table again. Don't get my coat back.
Okay, so we're back now. The players are just looking at their opening hands. Chris is going to be on the play.
Yeah, I'll keep.
And it looks like he's happy with his 7 as well. Both players happy on 7 this time.
So you're okay? You ready? Ready when you are. Yeah. Go.
Oh, that's a sneaky play. Cheaty Face was in play on turn 1. That's a great start for Chris.
In for 2.
Yeah, go to 18.
Lloyd taking the early beats from that sneaky play from Chris.
Yours.
Laughing hyena?
Sure. Go. I'll keep laughing for now.
That card's crap.
I like the fact that Victoria Brampton the world's gone. 2 in the end? Yeah, go to 60.
Lloyd taking his beats quite early on this game.
Go.
Trigger.
Swing for 5.
Sure.
Lloyd making a comeback here, putting Chris all the way down to 15. And they're off again on their rock, paper, scissors conquest.
When do you have to pay the cost for that?
Anytime in my next turn.
That's a quick win for Chris.
Go.
Chris getting really good at reading his opponent now for these rock, paper, scissors games.
I've just realised there's some really shit cards in my hat, in my deck, if Richard Garfield is not in the fight.
Yeah, I guess that might happen.
Chris realising that his whole deck revolves around Richard Garfield, if not his entire world.
Yeah, I'm not there just yet. Yours.
Tom,
Pay the 4. Another one.
he's got him for another one.
Swing.
This is a big swing here from Lloyd.
Before block.
Just so you have
A roll high.
card in my hand, there's been on the field the last 2 games. I triggered that and played it.
You can manually put it. Yeah, it's better than
Just before we go to damage, we're just going to make a quick check on something.
I'll go for 12.
change it, yeah.
Just want to make a quick rules check.
Okay.
Black mana and colourless mana.
Isn't he dead from? Oh, cheating, isn't it?
Yep. For 2.
Does it have any effects when it enters the battlefield?
That is right. I can go when Cheaty Face been left on the battlefield when it should have been died.
Can I read the card?
So surely it has to leave play and then be put back into play. So it has to, and if you take it from your graveyard and put it back into play, but it has to get into your graveyard at some point.
It has to technically leave the battlefield and be brought back.
Okay, fair enough, yeah.
What damage was that on the last turn, please?
I'm on now on 12.
12 place 16.
Yep. Stunning army.
The army's back again.
Yours.
Pay the 4.
Trigger. Okay.
Can you cheat him from out the game? Was that too much cheating? Even for cheating fair?
Really annoying ability, it's Card Pecker!
Looks like Cheaty Face causing some disturbances to the rules, as cheating usually does.
What level of cheating is acceptable then? Go.
In answer to the question, what level of cheating is acceptable? Any level of cheating is acceptable around Cheaty Face.
Sorry for the camera.
That's it. Chris is up to a standing position. He wants his man to be vigilant. Knocking Lloyd down to 14. And being the bigger man. Oh no, wait, he's not. That's why he gets vigilance.
No, he might say I'm cheating and look at his cards. Go.
The important thing to note with cheaty face as well is that if his opponent can get it out of Chris's graveyard, Lloyd can play it and cheat it into play himself.
Circle of protection.
Art, maybe charred
Deal damage targeting standing army.
Oh, he's come out with the burn spell. This guy's loving deal damage today.
Okay. Swing for free.
Looks like Chris is going to get to stay set now. And the number crunching begins. Lloyd seems to have learned his lesson from the last game.
Standing army. Go.
Chris having the follow-up standing army there. But is it going to be enough?
Is that close enough?
No, I played it. I played it at the same time.
That is correct, it was in play. The turn was passed without the play being noticed. Cheaty face resolves.
Swing.
accidental gotcha.
Introducing another man of measure.
Yeah. How much? So you have? How much do you have to play next time round? 4. Okay, gotcha.
Oh, that's a good gotcha there from Chris. He's making all the right plays to trick this guy.
Tainted monkey.
What with the standing army?
Your turn.
Supersize it.
Oh, super size on the standing army. That's going to make that thing huge.
Not on the on my guy, not the standing army.
Not on the standing army, on the red guy instead.
And I will also cast Graphic Violence, naming Franz.
Super size going to be plus 3.5, plus 3.5.
Back up to actually do some maths there.
Yeah. So plus 5.5. So it's on 8.5.
That gives it 8.5 of trample, facing off against 3 toughness.
Guys, yep.
Yeah, you take 4.
That's 7.5, yeah.
Chris is down to 7.5.
Go.
Man of. You said man of measure.
It's yours.
Chris electing not to get cheaty.
You have to pay for it this time.
Yeah, it's any time at the end of turn. It's not necessarily a night kick. Drop.
Yeah.
So that's the 4 for it. Face to face.
Oh, they're off again.
Running quiet here, please.
Seems like Lloyd's loving his face-to-face matches. He just likes playing rock, paper, scissors.
Yeah, okay. 4, yeah. 4 so you're tapped out, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, go for it.
Introducing
1,
a
2,
very
go.
insulting woman. Mother of God.
That's a loss for Chris.
Show. 1, 2.
How many have we done now, sorry?
That's
One
3
more
with
to
only 1.
1 or 2. Okay. Right.
Go to
1, 2, 3, go. 1,
That's
2,
4 rounds,
3,
only 1
go.
win.
Take 5.
That's a win for Lloyd, putting Chris all the way down to 2.5.
Swing.
However, I will activate this.
Does Chris have the answer?
Yep. Go.
Opted to trade his cheaty face there.
Wasn't he meant to be in out of play rather than graveyard?
No, it dies the same as before. It's only if you catch
Oh,
cheating
catch him, yeah,
to get
sure.
removed from the game.
You're currently protected for what? Protection from.
Cheaty face is a card that was almost printed in a core set. Hey, it really wasn't.
Repeat
I mean, funny if it was.
Interesting.
That one, that one.
God, we're going to draw it.
discard. No, sorry, shouldn't discard.
Chris seems to be struggling a little bit here.
That card wasn't back too many times.
So what's that you? Okay.
And that's it. That's the game there going to Lloyd. Lloyd is going to be our 2-0 player in this draft. A great game played by both players there. Chris getting really unlucky and playing a fantastic game of cheaty face and number crunching, but not quite getting there against our new player to the table, Mr. Lloyd. We'll be back very shortly with round number 3. But for now, look after yourselves. We've been Cerberus Cast and have a great day.